Ever found yourself lost in a city, unsure where to go? Whether it's navigating public transports or walking between landmarks, wayfinding design is what guides you. Today we're exploring how cities use wayfinding to help us navigate, using one of the most beautiful cities as a study case, Edinburgh. Hi, I'm Johnny, Doctor Interface Design from the Bauhaus University, and this is Design Globetrotter. In today's video, we're going to look how cities guide us through their streets and transport systems. We use Edinburgh as our study case, but this principle discussed today applies to cities all around the world, from Berlin to New York and beyond. Every time we enter a new city, we face the same problem. How do I find where I need to go? Sure, you have digital tools like Google Maps, but what happens when your phone's battery dies or you don't have internet connection? That's when traditional wayfinding steps in. And it's available 24/7. Whether it's navigating public transports, find a metro station, or walking between landmarks, clear signage is crucial to avoiding getting lost. In Edinburgh, like in many cities, the public transport system works well for locals, but for tourists and newcomers, getting around can be a real challenge. Walking through the streets without a clear directional signs can leave a bit lost. Good wayfinding is more than just helpful. It's essential for creating a smooth experience in any place. It shapes how you experience the city, how quick we feel comfortable, and whether or not we get lost. When a city's wayfinding is done well, we can walk with confidence, knowing exactly where to go, without stopping to ask directions. Take cities like Berlin, for example. For instance, when you look for the transportation maps, even we can see which stations can have a left, in this case barrier-free access. The same goes for London's iconic underground system. It's clear, well signposted, and designed to cater to millions of daily commuters. Here also you can see which stations provides a barrier-free access with a more obvious symbol if you compare to the German one. Fun fact, has an abstract bottle shape hidden within its layout. One of the core elements in wayfinding design is the use of shapes and colors to guide us without needing words. These elements can be applied to map design. It isn't geographically accurate, but it helps people to navigate in the network with ease. When it comes to outdoor signage, colors play a crucial role too. Brown signs, for instance, indicate tourist spots, while blue signs guide us to major roads and motorways. These are universal design cues seen around the world. Globally, we see design standards like ISO 7001 that guides public symbols, ensuring consistency across cities. These symbols include universally recognized icons like the wheelchair for accessibility, which you saw, for instance, in the Lombo tube map, or fork and knife for restaurants. And while these are generally universally understood design cues, transport logos can sometimes be challenging. For instance, let's take a look in London Underground logo. Classic, but abstract. Then there is Berlin's U-Bahn logo. And here you will not talk about the Irish band. Or São Paulo subway symbols. That looks more like a lift, if you ask me. And these logos change from city to cities. Nothing to do about it. But apart from the logo, normally the way the maps and the wayfind system are in the public transports are quite good to be understood. And if you find these insights helpful and want to learn more about how design impacts our daily lives, consider subscribing to this brand new channel. You have so much to explore yet. And let's not forget about pictograms, the unsung heroes of wayfinding. Pictograms help us to cross language barriers. They're simple, easy to recognize, and guide us when words can't. In Edinburgh, you see tram pictograms that make clear where the stops are. The same goes for the buses. But this concept is global. These icons act as the ultimate universal language. Whether you are in a city where you don't speak the language, or navigating a busy airport, pictograms help guide you with ease. Take a look in this example from Edinburgh City Centre. You can find buses that go to the airport and recognize them by the aeroplane icon, even if you don't speak English. But what about Edinburgh? The city has a decent transport system with buses, trams, and connections to other cities by train or aeroplane. Exactly what you expect for Scotland's capital. But for walking, there's often a gap in the directional signage, especially when you try to find key attractions. This is where things get tricky. You leave the train station, and there is no clear signpost pointing towards the city's main attractions or destinations. For tourists, this can lead to frustration. That said, Edinburgh's totem maps are a great feature. These maps provide clear information, directions, showing miniature landmarks and estimating walk times. I personally love their design. They're practical and offer a user-friendly experience. The issue, however, is that sometimes these totem maps are a bit hidden. For instance, I'm here right in the Royal Mile, the main touristic spot of Edinburgh, in a crossing that connects the old town to the new town. And there is not a single signpost around. And if you don't know the city, you don't know that the castle is up there and the palace is over there. In this case, you need to walk a little bit more up the Royal Mile for them to find this map totem here, which is in a quite discreet corner. Don't get me wrong, I really like these totem maps, but it'd be much cheaper to install this kind of signposts you can find in many places in Scotland and worldwide, and would greatly enhance the experience for walking tourists. Here's another great example you can find in Edinburgh, at Rose Street in Newtown. The area features customized maps that not only guide tourists but also reflect the character of the street itself. These tailored maps create a sense of place and personality, showing that Wayfinding can go beyond standards. It's a clever blend of design and identity, helping tourists navigate while offering a more engaged experience. Simple solutions that could really improve the way people navigate in the city. For walking tourists, direction signage is crucial, but often sparse, and isn't just an Edinburgh problem. Many cities focus heavily on transport signage, but leave pedestrians to figure out things on their own. Maybe because they rely on that people might be using digital maps, but still, what if your phone is dead? So how can cities improve urban navigation for both tourists and local? I'm glad you asked. First, use consistent colors and pictograms to guide people, whether on transport maps or public signage. Colors and symbols make it easy for anyone to understand, regardless of the language. Second, ensure that signs are placed at key decision points, like intersections, public squares, and transport hubs. This makes navigation intuitive and seamless. And third, don't underestimate the power of a clear, legible fonts. Signage needs to be easily readable from the distance, especially in crowded areas. Good wayfinding makes a city more accessible, not just for tourists, but for everyone. By following global principles and adding local personality, cities can create signage that works for both visitors and locals. Edinburgh has its strengths, but it could improve its pedestrian wayfinding, something that many cities are now focusing on. As cities grow and evolve, wayfinding will become even more important to ensure everyone can navigate confidently. Whether you're exploring new cities or rediscovering your own, having the right tools to capture those moments can be a good idea. That's why I compare two of the best pocket-sized cameras for urban adventure, the new iPhone 16 Pro Max and the established DJI Osmo Pocket 3. For instance, I use both in this video production. And if you're curious about the pros and cons of each model, check this video next. And of course, as this is a brand new channel, consider supporting us by subscribing, liking, hyping, commenting, whatever makes you happy. See you in the next one.